Hey guys, so I have some exciting news. I am currently prepping my trailer for a new horse. I'm picking her up right now. I will have to tell you more about her story in a moment. I'll be taking her home to meet the rest of the gang to come live with us. Totally spontaneous. Well, spontaneous for me. I am very much looking forward to our journey together. I will be documenting the process of working with her and helping get her back to a really healthy and good place. I can't say too much right now, but I will I will update you guys shortly. So yeah, so I'm here actually. I've got it parked and I'm just opening up the doors and everything, and we'll be loading her up in a second. It's been a very long time since she's been in a trailer or left her home or had anything done really. So we'll see how this goes. So she's in the trailer. Everybody say hi to Miss Sugar. I mean, she jumped right in for some hay. A little bit of alfalfa, but I have to be careful how much I'm giving her. We have to do a slow reintroduction into regular nutrition, regular diet, just based on her condition. And there's a feeding protocol for reconditioning horses that have been underweight for a long time. So she jumped right in actually. I mean, I thought she'd have a little bit of struggle with the step up that I've got on my trailer. I don't have a ramp, but she just popped right in. The biggest struggle we had was I don't think she's ever been in a slant load, so she wanted to just stand in straight. So maybe she's been in stock trailers or straight loads. And it was really hard to get her to move her hip over to be able to shut the slant, but she did really good. Usually in situations like this, when I have a horse that is coming from a traditional home that they don't have any clicker training basically, I don't bring out the clicker, I don't bring out food like that. I will handle them how they're familiar with because I'm trying to reduce the amount of stress. I want them to be comfortable with what we're doing, how we're doing it. And then usually food can then still be a powerful motivator when we need to make the situation happen. Especially in a case like this where they are restricted in their food intake. I'm still kind of where somebody might hear. So I will use the food inside the trailer to motivate them to get inside and to stay inside and not back out, but I won't use it as like clicker training and positive reinforcement. It's just in there waiting for them. And that's what we did with her. It worked really well. Now it's going to be about getting her home, getting her settled, making this as low stress as possible, and getting some weight back on her and taking care of her hooves and the rest of her. Anyway, I haven't done too much with her, so we'll just kind of see. We're gonna have to unpack this. So yesterday when I didn't get a whole lot of chance to show you guys exactly her condition and kind of what we're dealing with here, As you can see, we have major muscle atrophy along the top line, very pronounced bones. Um, not only can you see them, or not only can you feel them, you can really see them. She's still got some filling in here, so that's good. Got a lot of muscle atrophy here, all through the back and the spine, all down the hip here. A little bit of stocking up behind today, probably because she didn't move as much last night, just sitting eating her hay. So I'm going to see if I can get her moving a little bit more today. That does happen. That can happen during kind of this transition process as her body is adjusting, and she had the whole trailer ride yesterday, which was very strenuous on her body. She hadn't been in a trailer in probably 13 years or more. You can see she's very narrow in the chest. Just no muscle, no fat on her, really. You can see more here. Thankfully, she's really comfortable with being touched. She's doing very well. Look at this tailbone, how pronounced that is. And then we've got a really, let's see if I can show you guys. So we're really missing all of that back in here. Easy, babe. And it's really sucked in back here. That's definitely her being way underweight. So yeah, so that's just kind of the condition she's in right now. Her feet also need quite a bit of help. They're not the worst I've seen, but we've got some work to do. She's really chill. She's so focused on the food, and that's really part of when you've got a starved horse, that really happens, where they're very focused on the food. She's already so cute and pretty. We just need some groceries, lots of them. Right, girl? She's like, yep, give me all the groceries, all of them. A little backstory, Sugar was living, so I was going out every week to a client's house and working with her horses. She has 4 horses that I work with, and I knew there was this other horse in the pasture that's next to theirs, but I never really went over there. I've been working with this client for well over a year now, but she was in better condition. It was in better shape, kind of. I mean, it's from what I could tell from a distance, but then gradually things started to decline. So she hasn't been in this bad of shape for that long. I've known it started over the summer. I don't know exactly how long, because I didn't go up there and like say hi to her very often or do anything. But as far as what the client has noticed, it wasn't like this earlier this year. So, and now, however, the rest of her care, as far as the feet, the dental, all of that, absolutely has been going on for many, many years. The weight is just kind of like the final straw here. We don't know exactly what happened, but her condition started to decline significantly, and they were trying to actually give her to my clients, their neighbors, but they couldn't afford to take on another horse. And then at the time, I was like, I can't take on another horse right now. And so, but then when Cash passed away, Gandhi needed a companion, and then we realized how bad of a shape she was in, and I went to go visit her, and it all just kind of worked out. Like, it seemed like it was just a really good fit. She's really just has really eager to like engage, and she's very social and very easygoing, very easy to be around. Yes, she needs a lot of rehab and a lot of work as far as getting her back into a good condition and back into her optimum condition. But she just seemed like a really good fit, and Candy needs a companion, and I had space to be able to now help out another horse. Cash was my last horse that I helped that was in a similar condition to her, and it was kind of a similar story. Well, a little bit different story, but similar condition, rehab process, all that, and felt right to try to bring her home. They just wanted her to go to a good home. He just gave her to me. We did do a sale contract, but he's just like, just take her. And so it took me a month to get it all arranged. It was about a month, and also dealing with, I was sick, my kids were sick, and then I had to arrange to go get her, and anyway, it was all this stuff. So it took a month to get her out of where she was and home, but now she's home. That's kind of the backstory. We don't know much about her other than she's about 20 years old. The dentist will confirm kind of that range, and just a Pinto paint mare, probably a quarter horse type. I think once she fills out, she's going to be pretty stout, but right now she's very, very underweight. So, yeah, and her name's Sugar, and she's a very good girl. We decided to go on a little walk in the arena. She might roll, which is fine. I'm not taking her up to meet anybody yet. Just kind of wanted to get her out, moving around, getting some blood moving around her legs, reduce some of that stocking up. So right now we have the vet scheduled to come out to pull blood work and to do x-rays of her feet before we start working on them, before we start trimming them. We want to see what's kind of going on under the structure, or inside the internal structures, what's going on there, if there's any rotation, if there's any developments in there. We want to take a look at that. So before the farrier starts working on her, the barefoot trimmer, and still pull blood work to make sure everything's going on okay on the inside. We're also going to get fecal samples to see what we're dealing with as far as worm load goes. Now that's not 100% accurate because you can't do a fecal test for all the different types, so we're still going to do a deworming program that will be safe for her because she hasn't been dewormed in a long time, so we don't want to just like hit her with a really strong one. We got to do it gradually. Then what else we got? Oh, I've got the equine dentist scheduled. We're going to be looking at her teeth. I am confident that her teeth are probably quite a mess. That's probably a big reason she's very underweight. I mean, they weren't feeding her enough, but there's probably more to the story there. Probably also while the vet is out, we'll do a little bit of a lameness exam, just kind of check out, see what's going on there. I decided to postpone doing any x-rays at the back, any of the joints, anything like that. For now, we might do that later. I know she's in her 20s. I know she's probably not going to be rideable. I mean, it's okay. She's here just to be a member of the herd and to be a companion for Candy. And if she is going to join maybe my lesson program on the ground, so with in-hand stuff, with all my foundation behaviors and during my workshops and stuff, we do a lot of stuff on the ground, so she would be perfect for that. If and when we get to that point, there's no rush. She doesn't have to do anything necessarily. She can just enjoy her life and be well taken care of. That's really the point that I brought her home for, is to support her in her life going forward and to make a big change for her. Usually in a case like this, I expect it to take quite a while to work through everything. We got physically, emotionally, mentally, behaviorally, all of that is going to take time, and the physical stuff is going to take time. I try and approach both the behavioral side of things, or like the emotional, mental part of things and helping her and unpacking in that capacity simultaneously with the physical stuff. So I try not to just focus on the physical. Absolutely, she needs a lot of physical help, but that's not all. There's more going on there, especially from her living on her own for so long and then being in such a winter is coming kind of mode for so long, being starved. That's going to take a while to help her adjust and learn to self-regulate her food intake, to be able to not just be so fixated on the hay and food that she can't do anything else, and just to learn that food's always coming, she's never going to run out. That's going to take time. That's going to take quite a bit of time to work through. We're going to slowly introduce her to Candy, and then maybe eventually to she'll be introduced to the rest of the herd over the fence. I don't plan to put her in with the rest of the horses. She'll be primarily Candy's companion, and so that's my primary goal there, is to introduce them. That's the update. That's a little bit backstory on her, and I look forward to sharing with you guys her progress and how she's doing over the coming months.